I'm eating a churro.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back.
Anyone in the world can just watch this now.
Yeah, so for everyone watching, go follow my TikTok. I have 10,000 plus followers. So, hype me up. Thank you. And good night.
Can you hear me, Truman?
You want to drop the name?
Oh yeah, my name. Imagine like following my TikTok and then I don't tell you.
Fucking idiot! Holy moly!
Well,
Jonas.
so if you look up Drew J, it'll probably come up. But the username is JWERD, which is Drew J backwards.
On it.
Yeah.
Whoa, you do have a lot of followers. Come on, Drew.
Thank you.
Do I follow you on TikTok, Drew?
You should.
All right, guys, we're
This
ready to
cookie
get
slaps.
started. Let's get this show on the road. Jurors, please turn off your camera. Final four, keep on your camera. All the other jurors, please turn off your camera. Right. Final four, one of you was just eliminated from the game and you became the final juror. Will that person please turn off their camera? Our final three is Jack, Nicole, and Malia. One of them will take the crown of the game Bloodbath. So it is time to get started with our jury questions. Each juror will ask the group a question and you will answer it. And we're going to start in elimination order with Emily Sledge. You can turn on your camera and unmute.
Okay. Hi, friends. My question is, what was your favorite challenge in this game that you really think that you shined in? Jack, go first.
Awesome. This challenge was actually one that we were on the same team, the red team, the first red team challenge, the Greek god runway. I think that overall that has still been my favorite challenge. Overall, I thought it was a great way for me to express not only my kind of humor, written humor, but also my creative humor in creating an outfit and style. It was something that I put a lot of thought into, not just creating something that was funny, but that something would be thoughtful, and the message, even though I kind of made it funny about like the delivering queer souls to a place of happiness, not to hell. That's something I'm really happy and glad that I kind of put out there, because it's something that I want to continue to put out there, just more queer people and just embracing queer art in a way. So I would say that's my favorite challenge. Yeah.
Thank you. Malia.
My favorite challenge was the album cover. I just remember being so intimidated by it because I saw all the past examples of it and I was like, oh God, like how am I gonna pull this off? I'm horrible at editing pictures. Like I just was feeling very doubtful. But then like Drew and I found the weirdest band, like this weird indie band that no one listens to called Blur. And one of their albums, I just saw this woman with a swim cap and she just looked so cute. And like, I just loved looking at her and I loved like the flowers on the swim cap. And it was just so like unlike anything I'd seen. And I was like, this is what we're recreating. And it just like ended up working out perfectly because like Drew had water too. And I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and I bought the swim cap, and then I went to Michael's and bought like flowers, and I was like stapling them to this swim cap, and I was like, God, this is gonna look horrible. But then my best friend, and I like even bought a strap to like put around it, and I like stood in front of my best friend's blow up pool, and like she ended up taking one picture, and it was just like perfect, and I was like, oh my God. And then I worked really hard to edit it to make sure all the colors were perfect, and it ended up like looking really good. And I was like, wow, like I just felt so proud of myself and I loved how I looked in it. So yeah.
Yay, thank you. And Nicole.
I think my favorite challenge was the Model UN debate. I had a lot of fun with that because I think it got to highlight like a new skill that the other challenges didn't, which was like improv, I guess, and doing something live. It was the first live challenge we had. So that was like really, really fun. And it was also really fun getting to work with Jack. We got split onto teams and we had our duos, but getting to work with a new person one-on-one was like a really cool experience, especially because we've never really met, you know, but we did all this kind of collaboration in advance. And I also was so happy that I got to do England because I had been watching so much Love Island in quarantine that I thought like I could like kind of make use of that. And so yeah, getting to like do a bit part and, you know, put like silly props together and, you know, voices and stuff and work with new people on the team or like in the game and do something live that required improv, I thought was like a lot of fun.
Yay! You're beautiful and smart and funny. Congrats.
Love you, Emily.
All right, thank you, Emily. Next up, we have Drew.
Hello. My question is for Jack and Nicole, and I just want to know. I'm curious what you guys think that you have done um, that would deserve my vote to you, other than my partner.
That's tricky because I feel like there's a lot of partner, you know, alliance in this game. I think I have had a lot of spirit in this game. I think I've made a lot of connections with team members like playing this game. I genuinely like think about the game all the time. I feel like I put in a lot of work into my, you know, challenges and not only into the submissions that go up on Instagram, but I feel like I have been an active part of that kind of group chat that we have and like I really enjoy putting content in there like just for your eyes, not even for like the game's Instagram eyes. Like I want that sense of community in this game. And I think I've done a lot to make that happen in my time here, and it's been really fun. And I think that, you know, also kind of warrants a vote.
Yeah, similarly, I would say my dedication to each of the submissions that I put in. I very carefully thought out everything that I put into a video, into a submission, into a photo, into a block of text. That I thought not only that I would be happy with, but that other people would find funny and enjoy as well. And Corinna can vouch for this. I would FaceTime her endlessly, just text her photos, text her 10,000 messages at once, spewing ideas of what we could do to create just a very well-rounded submission. I tried my best to make genuine relationships outside of the submissions. I tried to make genuine relationships with people. Everyone who I talked with just, I really wanted to get to know on a very personal level outside of the game after the game ends. And so that's what I would say.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Drew. Next up, we have Clara.
Hey guys, first off, congratulations on making it to the final three. That's so amazing. You all definitely deserve to be here. My question for you is, how did you play this game strategically, and how did you make strategic decisions that were better than the rest of the members of the final three?
I can go. um, I tried to really just I went in with like no expectations. So like when it came to the challenges, I never felt like I made sure to check myself in that I never felt too much pride going into any of the challenges. Like I always felt like honestly on the more doubtful side. And I think I like forced myself actually not to get too much help from other people. Like I'd say obviously Drew was the person I got the most help from, but like even then, like once I was alone, it was all my own ideas and it was all stuff that I very much came up with and that came like from me. And I honestly didn't think about what would make other people laugh and entertained. I thought about what would express me in the best way possible and what represented me. And in terms of my relationships and alliances, I actually was pretty strategic about it. I like there were people I spoke to who I knew I could trust and people I spoke to who I had really good relationships with, but I knew that I couldn't trust, and I always clocked that. And so I like always had like kind of like a tier of people going where I was like, okay, I know that like if I make this move, then this person will still have my back. And like I managed to like maintain that really well and like eventually pull that through to the end. And I'm really proud of that. So yeah.
I would say from the beginning, my goal was to get Karena and I as far into this game as possible. I didn't know if it was going to stay pairs the entire time, if it was going to split, or that inevitable kind of team swap that everyone was talking about in chats. But that was my goal. I created alliances with people to make sure that I was safe going into the next few rounds. And I know Nicole can vouch for this as well. Green team and teal team, we created an alliance very early on. And we worked together to make sure that we had the numbers to push ourselves as far into the game as possible. When it came time to when red team and teal, purple team were split, and obviously green and teal team were split as well, I made sure that I had connections still on the red team with Nicole, with Drew, with Emily, to make sure that I was in a space that if I was ever in the bottom three, that I could be saved with an inevitable vote. And so my game was really just figuring out how many numbers, regardless of if my submission was strong enough, if I wound up in the bottom, I knew that the numbers that I had, that I trusted, would keep me from going into a battle match. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my safety, like as far as votes were concerned, actually increased like as the game went on, because it just so happened that a lot of the people that I had made connections with at the beginning of the game were sticking around. So like voting wise, I felt a little safer. But like Jack said, on day one, Jack and I formed an alliance because, fun fact, everyone, it turns out we have like a mutual friend, super in common. One of my housemates, who's like one of my best friends here, is Jack's like friend from high school. So, for this very random reason, we formed an alliance, and Green Team and Teal Team have had this like alliance, and then through Green Team, we met Pink Team. You know, I don't go to Elon, so it was like a really nice way to kind of get to know people in the game and like simple things like the whole like alliance thing didn't feel very sneaky or anything like that. It was more honestly like we'd have a separate chat where we would tell them how great their submission was after they posted it and that they like did a good job, and just like being nice and supportive. And that was pretty much it. And then, you know, it was just like, I want to keep playing with you. I want you here. We're going to vote for you. And after facing those two battle matches so early on in the game, my only strategy was just, dear God, don't be in the bottom three, please, because it's, you know, scary in there.
All right, thank you, Clara. Next up, we have Karena.
Hello. So my question is, this is kind of a saucy question. If you guys could choose another running mate from this season that wasn't the partner you went into this season with, who would you pick and what would your reasoning be? Malia?
I would 100% pick Gideon. I think that they're just awesome and I want to be friends with them really badly. And I don't know, they're just like, they're so unique and just unlike anyone else in this in this game, and just such like an individual and so fun and so kind too. Yeah. Hey Gideon, love you.
Love.
Yeah, I would also say Gideon or Jack. I think Gideon did an amazing job of just being truly kind to everyone in this game and was consistently excellent in all of the challenges, but in a way where they managed to make everyone feel like really excited about their challenges. And I don't think anyone was ever threatened or like wanted to see them go. So I think that's really powerful in this game. And then also Jack, because I think Jack's great.
Yeah, I'll piggyback quickly off both of them. Gideon, I remember there was one moment in the season when I approached you asking if you wanted to form an alliance, and it didn't work out, but you did so in the nicest, most caring way possible. That I remember Karen and I talked, and we were like, well, like, like that was just bad on us for not going to you and Julian sooner, because I know I personally really, really enjoyed spending time with you, and especially working with you, and just your feedback also in when we would send submissions in the red team chat, and just the feedback, the genuine care that you gave to all of us was fabulous. I would obviously love to work with Nicole or Malia, just because I think you guys are brilliant. And then also, this is more of like strategic, but Clara, you have such a strategic mind, and you were such a mastermind with that. And so I would have loved to play the game with you, purely for that, aside from you being super creative, purely for that, how can we maneuver our way through this game and get ourselves on top? Because I thought you did a fabulous, fabulous job at that.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Corinna. Next up, we have Nicole H.
Okay. My question is, if you had to pick one of the other two of Final Three to win, who would it be and why?
I feel like my answer is obvious. I loved working with all the people in the final three, but simply because of this alliance we formed so early on, if I can't win, I would love to see Jack win.
Likewise, I think no one else on the season won 4 challenges. And so I think if you're just looking at it based on pure wins, I think Nicole has done a fabulous job. But I feel so bad saying that, but Malia, I've loved working with you as well, because I don't know. Yeah, that's so hard.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard. I think both of you are really great. I don't know. Nicole is, a fellow woman, and like I've been intimidated by you since like day one, because you just are very like ruthless and like just a very powerful presence. And you're a super nice person at the same time. And so like you're just, I don't know, I just feel like you're a force to be reckoned with, and like you've been through a lot with all the battle matches, and I feel like you've just had like really high highs and low lows in this game. So I think it would be really great to see you win as well.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Nicole. Second to last, we have Gideon. You're muted.
Hi. So I'm gonna kind of shift the context a little bit, just to get a better understanding for who you are, and in relationship to what my values are, separate from the game. So what's your favorite anime and why? We're gonna go with Nicole, Jack, Malia, because that's the order that you are on my screen.
I'm going to embarrass myself because I'm sure this was the goal of the question. Don't really watch anime. However, in middle school, all of my friends at every single sleepover would watch Fruits Basket. So I guess I'm going to have to say that one.
Yeah, I too do not watch anime. This is gonna. I hope this is not completely off. But no, I've never divulged into it. I've had friends in the past who have been really into. They're not the same thing. Comics and I like more 2D art, but I've been much more of like a visual, like 3D art. So, but I've just never dived into that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, the lights are automatic, so I have to like yeah, I'm not a big anime person. I've always wanted to get into it, but I haven't had the chance. I don't know if Spirited Away is considered anime, but I really love that movie. And I think it's one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. So I'm gonna say that as my answer.
Thank you, non-weebs.
Thank you so much, Gideon. And last but not least, we have Haley.
Hello, my lovelies. Okay, I have kind of two questions. They're a little bit deeper, so. Okay. First one is, how has the game changed you? And the second one is, if you could give your challenge oneself advice, what would you say? The floor is yours.
The game the game changed me because like I truly had no and I like it was kind of just like this fun thing that was sprung on me in the middle of quarantine. It I don't know, it was just it made me feel really like it gave me a lot of confidence, I think. I'm not a very confident person and I doubt my like creativity and like my sense of humor a lot, especially like in the industry that we're in. Like I just like I don't know, like I've had a lot of moments where I like doubt myself, so it's been really nice to like win challenges and to make it this far into it because I feel like it really like made me feel like I can do something if I set my mind to it. And like I had so many times where like during the challenge I'd be working on it and I'd be like, oh god, this is horrible, like I'm definitely not going to make it through this round. I basically said it every round. I was like, this is going to be the one. You know, and then I would like surprisingly just make it, and I was like, I don't know, it just made me feel really happy. If I were to give advice to my challenge oneself, it would be to like trust your instincts and stay positive about the experience.
Yeah, I have a very similar response. I think this game, playing the game, has really made me a lot more confident, just like in my own ability to like be funny or like have like a like creative side that's like has some merit. I especially in college, this is like less, you know, when I'm at home, but my college friends, like I'm friends with a lot of like really big personalities, a lot of like theater people, and I'm not a theater major. So having this like kind of little platform has made me feel like very valid and like being a part of that community. And like I've even had people like from school come up to me and be like, I didn't realize like you know, like you were so funny, like blah blah blah. And I think just like having this opportunity to like this is my thing, this is my voice, and like this is my submission where I'm talking alone and I came up with it. And that's been really, really cool and really special, like that it's gone so well. So that's like definitely the biggest thing the game has like done for me. And I'm really grateful.
Sorry, the mute wasn't there. So the game actually came around at kind of like the perfect time for me during this quarantine. My grandmother had passed away a few weeks ago and I had just started work. And I was feeling since March, since kind of even during school, I wasn't feeling the drive to create like I normally was or be involved in anything that that inspired me. I just lacked all of that energy to do that. So when the game came around and I got cast, I knew I wanted to just make the most out of it that I could. And so, and I kind of said this a little bit earlier in the night, having structured creativity was probably the best thing that could have happened to me this summer. I knew regardless of the circumstances of what the task was that I would be doing something creative. I would have a reason to create, that regardless of what people thought of the submission of the content, that I was creating something that I could be proud with. Another thing that I kind of noticed throughout the game is, as you know, I created a lot of different characters and you got to see the last Jack's final form, BDSM Jack. I think his name was Daddy J Moore. I created all these characters and it was so fun. I've never really trusted my comedic side. I've always been like, oh, I can do that, but I want to focus on like drama. Like that's what sells. That's what people do, because I think I've been afraid of accepting kind of who just Jack is as a person. And so the original, sorry, I'm going on a long tangent. The wing fell. But the original kind of motif of my final submission was going to be like a voice saying, Jack, you don't have to be all these characters. You can just be you. Just be you. You don't need anything else. That I changed that a little bit. But I still think of that. I still think that I would go back and tell, even though I didn't compete in Challenge 1, I would go back and tell Jack sitting on the pool, sipping coffee, roasting the hell out of Karenna, and say, hey, just be yourself. You can rely on these characters, but you don't need to. You're funny, you are worth enough. And yeah, so I'm very thankful for what the game has brought to me this time.
All right, thank you, Haley, and thank you to all of our jurors. Before the jury votes, the final three, you each have 30 seconds to plead your case as to why you are the winner of the game Bloodbath. We're going in alphabetical order, which means Jack, you are first.
All right. I'd be honored to be in the Game Hall of Fame. I'd love to incorporate some more queer representation onto the board and continue to develop the game into an even better version of itself than it already is. I feel I have the creativity, the humor, and the commitment to this show and would feel honored to represent this season. I'd like everyone to close their eyes. Imagine yourself on a beach. It's years in the future. COVID is gone. You feel the sand on the bottom of your feet, the breeze coming from behind, and then this sound. Adam, Adam, thank you for letting me be a fool this summer. Loved playing with all of you.
Thank you, Jack. Next up, we have Malia.
This game was a really unexpected part of my life, and I didn't realize that it would like how long it would go on for and how much like my other friends would get involved with it. But I've really just genuinely enjoyed the experience, and I love all of you. I loved meeting all of you, and I really loved interacting with Preston and Una and Pete and Kira and everyone on the board and Jonas. Like, you're all just like really fun people, and it's just I love that idea of getting to know someone that I've never met in person. Like, I just find it really special that I was able to like have fun with a bunch of people who are my age, who I've never met before. Like, it was something I really didn't expect. And I don't know, I worked really hard on like all the submissions that I did, and I put a lot of myself into them, and I feel like I'd be an interesting person to be in the Hall of Fame because I feel like I just have like a weird sense of humor that like sometimes doesn't really belong, but sometimes can work really well. So yeah, I'd really love to win.
Thank you, Malia. And lastly, Nicole B.
I said this in my final video. I'll say it again. It's been an absolute joy to be in the game. I think about the game all the time. I'm so glad it's been a part of my life. I'm so glad all of you were a part of my quarantine in some capacity. I think it's really special that we were able to like, make connections that feel really genuine and real, even though, we weren't able to really meet in person. That being said, I would love, love, love to win this game. It would mean the world. But I say this after every submission, maybe not to all of you, but to someone in my life. I always say, I'm so proud that I even made it this far. If it ends right now, that's okay. I'm so proud I made it this far, and I feel like that right now. So just like thank you for such a great experience, and I hope I can stay with the game and stay involved in some capacity in the future, no matter what.
All right, thank you to the final three, and once again, congratulations to all of you for making it this far. It is something only, let me do quick math, I think 17 people have done before you. So welcome to the minority in that sense. Okay, jury, it is now time to vote. One at a time, I will call on you and you will privately message me on Zoom who you want to win. Please make sure it is a private message. I'll give you all a second to get adjusted. And Emily, whenever you're ready, please cast your vote. Drew, please cast your vote. Clara, please cast your vote. Karenna, please cast your vote. Nicole H., please cast your vote. Gideon, please cast your vote. And Haley, please cast your vote. Advisors, if you already haven't, please open the advisor roundtable and finalize your vote. All right, the votes are in. Before I reveal the votes, thank you so much to the three of you for making this such an incredible season from start to finish. I have loved getting to know you if I didn't know you before this. And if I already did, it's been a pleasure getting to know you more. But without a further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and reveal the votes. The majority wins. After I reveal the winner, jurors, you may turn on your camera and celebrate. Emily has cast her vote for Nicole B. Drew has cast his vote for Malia. Clara has cast her vote for Jack. We are tied 1-1-1. Corinna has cast her vote for Jack. That's 2 votes Jack. Nicole H has cast her vote for Nicole B. It's 2 votes Nicole B, 2 votes Jack, 1 vote Malia. Gideon has cast their vote for Malia. We are once again tied 2-2. Haley has cast her vote for Jack. And the advisors have cast their vote for Malia. We have a tie. 3 votes Jack, 3 votes Malia, 2 votes Nicole B. Here's how the tiebreaker is going to work. Nicole B, you are now the final juror. Take some time and privately message me if you would like Malia or Jack to win.
I love you, Malia.
I love you too, Jack.
Okay, the vote is now solidified. I can talk. And I can now reveal that after 2 months, 19 competitors, and 10 challenges, the winner of the game Bloodbath is Jack. Congratulations, Jack. You are the winner. Congratulations to Nicole and Malia for being amazing runner-ups.
Yay!
Thank you, everybody. I love you. Oh, thank you.
All of you deserve so much. I literally, what I said.